Welcome to St. Michael's Mount. The bay surrounding Mont Saint-Michel, which stretches into both Brittany and Normandy, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Exploring the bay with a guide is a unique experience to learn about the fragility of the ecosystem. St. Michael's Mount is a tidal island in Mounts Bay, Cornwall, England, United Kingdom. The island is a civil parish and is linked to the town of Marazion by a causeway of granite setts, passable between mid-tide and low water. The causeway is around half a mile long and only takes you around 10 to 15 minutes to cross it. The timing issues come from making sure you cross at the right times and aren't waiting around to avoid the high tide waves. St. Michael's Mount has been in the St. Leven family since 1659. The permanent resident, Lord Street Leven, has only recently inherited the title from his late uncle, who passed away in April, and had no children of his own. However, St. Leven, whose family name is St. Alban, has lived at St. Michael's Mount since 2003 and recalls summers and the occasional Christmas spent there as a child. The Change House is the first building on the left as you arrive onto the island. You'd be forgiven for thinking its name was something to do with the tide changes, but in fact it is so called because it was formerly a changing room for bathers. The north side of the island is also home to around 30 people who live in cottages overlooking a harbour of small boats with at least one person from each household working on the island in the gardens, the house or on the water. When they were younger, Lord Street Leven's children were known to skateboard on the large flat roof of the Victorian castle. You may wonder who built the St. Michael's Mount Castle. St. Michael's Mount is every bit as mythical as you may think. Legend has it that the mount was built by a giant called Cornwall who would wade ashore to snatch up livestock from local farms and take them back with him. A reward was offered in return for killing the giant, and a young boy called Jack came forward. It was from the mount that the Spanish Armada was first spotted in 1588, and the beacon lit here was the first of a chain started along the south coast to warn of the threatened invasion. Recent unearthing of Bronze Age artifacts on the island has cemented beliefs that it was a hub of trade during that period. There are 3 pillboxes on the island, used as bunkers for soldiers in the Second World War. St. Leven recalls as a child how his grandparents lamented the pillboxes, dismissing them as eyesores, but now their roofs are covered with a carpet of mossy grass. Looking over the balustrades to the south, is sheer, but the view is spectacular, not only because of the rocks and sea, but also because of the subtropical gardens, which are designed to look glorious from above, too. Lord Street Leven explains that the rocks release heat at nighttime, which means unexpected plants grow here. Cactuses and other rare beauties sprout from the arid crags. Best time to visit St. Michael's Mount throughout the year. The dramatic skyline is mirrored in the ever-changing coast. As such, the mount is always worth a visit, no matter what the weather or time of day.
The map itself reveals the dissolution of monasteries, changed and all of that, and pretty much everything else that we went through. But at that point, all the monks had left. The castle was fortified in the crown property.
Underneath the chapel there's a little room accessed by a steep narrow staircase. It is more of a cell than a room. There are no windows and the walls, ceiling and floors are all stone. It was perhaps the domain of a hermit, a role that was, amazingly, much coveted by monks in the past. The only way to access the island on foot is via the causeway, but when the tide is high the island's residents must take boats. St. Leven keeps a book of tide timings by his bed so he can prepare for the coming days and weeks. Discover the intricate plaster frieze in the Chevy Chase room, armor and weapons in the garrison room, and a model of the mound made of champagne corks by a former butler. Meet Street Auburn in a series of portraits and set your sights on spectacular views from the castle turrets. St. Michael's Mount is a national treasure. It's a place of pilgrimage, panoramic view, and a wealth of historical value. Thank you for joining the journey. Please subscribe and share this video for someone like you who would like to explore UK's national heritage. See you with another exploration.